Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode we pushed out from the Ukrainian peninsula here. We got pushed back, but that was mostly due to logistics and because we were just trying to buy a little space to build up our land fort here to have an extremely strong position to fall back to. And that's absolutely fine. For the moment, we're working on pushing in this direction, and we'll see if anything comes of this anytime soon. Maybe. That's a hard maybe. I'm going to try attacking with our infantry here, and we have a few too many troops here for sure. But for right now, let's try this and see what happens. We got it. That's actually huge. That's really, really huge. We need to build up land fort here. And I don't want to attack further right now. Stop this attack. We're just going to hold our ground right here. Because now what we can do is we can move this army in and attack here. We can attack here with this tank army, and our infantry army can attack here. Like this. Now, we're not exactly winning this right now, but that's okay. We don't need to. Yeah, this is absolutely fine for the moment. This is actually a huge gain that we got this right now. This is a naval base here, which we can definitely use to supply a bit. And we can also upgrade this rail and get that rail connected in over here. So that'll be fine. We can work on upgrading this naval base as well. We might as well. And that looks good. So mostly, this attack is going to be allowing us to build up levels of land fort here. That's the main purpose behind attacking right now. But the secondary purpose is if we can join together these fronts, that's huge. Air superiority in sub-Saharan Africa. I don't care. They can have that. So that's fine. They're continuing to try to attack us up over here, but it is this situation. And actually, look at their supplies over here. They're taking attrition. They have 55% attrition present. What's their logistics look like? Oh, wild. They don't have this connected into their main logistics network. Not here, not here. I don't know why they've done this, but sure. Also, it looks like they're starting to stretch their defenses thin, doesn't it? They don't have anyone here. And from what we can see, they don't appear to have anyone here either. And we don't see what's up over this way. But their defenses are starting to get thinner, it looks like. That's a good sign too. So for now, we're going to continue the attack, but the primary goal, as I said, was to build up the defensive location there. Now, they're trying to attack us from two fronts here, and this is going to go poorly for them. I actually really like that they're piling their troops in right here. That's really good for us. They're trying to attack here very consistently. We can attack across here to lessen the strain. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. But they have bigger supply issues here than we do. That's for sure. So that looks good. For the moment, I'm not trying to strike out over this direction, although I think we can. You know what? Let's give it a go. Let's see what happens if we push out this way. Okay. So that's all fine. I'm not going to push further than this right now. I would love to get a mainland supply hub here. I think there's no way that that actually gets built. But we can do this, and we can move these guys forward. I'd kind of like to swap these positions, to be honest. I'd like to have the infantry out here. And then we'll move the tanks back once the infantry arrives. Like that. Okay, the tanks actually just want to chill right up over here. Sure. The tanks could start pushing if they wanted to. But it would be really, really big if we could get a logistics hub right up over here. I think they're going to attack this a lot. And I think it's going to be very difficult for us to do anything with that. But taking just this position is still very useful for us. So, out over this direction, I want to launch an attack here. Because again, if we can get these two fronts unified, that's huge. But for now, I'm content with them trying to attack here. They've been doing this a lot, but I want to launch an attack here now, and I want to launch an attack up here. Actually, I'm going to swap these. Like this. Get in there, tanks. There we go. Infantry, get in there. So this is going a little bit rough over here, but that's fine. I want to check in on this side. They're just encircling this. This is kind of huge. This is allowing us time to build up our land forts here. I don't know why they're doing that, but sure. Looks like we lost an infantry unit somewhere. Let's reinforce that. And let's grab infantry expert. Looks good. And then our other unit is going to go over here. Okay. So we're going to have to reorganize our armies once we actually have a proper breakout here. But their numbers are very high in these areas. So for right now, I'm not expecting major pushes. And that is indeed exactly what we're getting, is no major pushes. We're up to 5 levels of land fort here now. That's getting insane, actually. That's getting very insane. I don't suppose we could put a stronghold network here. No, we can't. So that's good to know. So I'm just thinking about how we want to handle this situation over here. Taking this point would be very awkward for us, but it would be a good thing ultimately. Taking right here would be the real dream. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove this, and you guys can stop. Seriously, you can stop. We're going to change our offensive line to be right there. That's going to be the goal now. And they can do what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do, but they can just work on that for the time being. So if we can just cut off the supplies over here, again, that's a very big deal. So that sounds great, and this is going to go to a tank reserve. Sounds fine. Out over this direction, they're still just chilling here. Okay. So they're allowing us to build up our land fort level, and this is going to be very difficult to dislodge us from at this time. They're going to find it almost impossible to dislodge us from here. We're not attacking, and I think the generals are right to not be attacking at this moment. I think we just continue that for the moment. Okay, down over here, we're pretty intent on attacking right here with the tanks, and that makes sense. I'd like for these guys to be attacking over here, of course. We'll see if that happens. Ah, they're beginning to attack us here now. Okay. So we're at 7 levels of land fort. And like I said, they're going to have a hard time dislodging us here. Thermonuclear bombs. Okay, cool. And do we have any other special projects we can work on? Yes, we do. So we'll do that. And this is a tank division. We'll just move that up over here. Perfect. And the real question is, how long are we able to hold out here? Any resources that they're expending attacking here is valuable for us on this side, and vice versa. So that's absolutely wonderful. They're trying to attack us with their tanks. But I don't think they're going to make too much progress here. They've kicked 2 of our units out of here, but I don't actually care about that. They're attacking very constantly. Okay, they let up a bit now. I'm going to move these guys in. And yeah, the organization here is the problem. We can't really advance here. That's understood. They're going to keep attacking over this way. And how are we doing on getting that last level of land fort built up here? The answer is it'll be done fairly soon. We're also making good progress on the logistics hub there. That's about half done. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. And out over here, we're still continuing to attack. Now, our manpower is definitely dropping, and that's not surprising. I want to check in on tank counts. Oh, this is fine. Absolutely fine. No problem then. Let's launch an infantry attack out over this way. That's looking auspicious. Let's toss some tanks in there. Okay, now it's looking inauspicious. Crossing this river is tough. And they'll have the same issue. So they're continuing to attack us up over this way. No shockers there. But they're expending a lot of resources on this. How are they doing on their manpower? We've dropped by about 100,000 manpower so far this episode. Let's see where they're at. Somewhere between 5 and 6 million, most likely. That is definitely a significant drop from last time we looked. Okay. I think that's proof that this strategy is working. It's not a very glamorous strategy, right? But I think it's very clear that they are losing manpower a lot faster than we are right now. So I think we just need to very carefully pick and choose our battles and defend in very powerful locations like this. So we can move these guys back in now. And this is currently going to be done on 18 July. It'll probably be a lot later than that in reality. But once this finishes, we're going to be in a good position to strike out from here. This land fort is going to be done on 5 June unless they delay it through attacks, and that is going to make it almost impossible to dislodge us from this position. As we've seen, it's already very nearly impossible to dislodge us. They've actually given up on attacking here for now. So yeah, we just carefully, slowly grind through. I want to attack here, and I want to do this very heavily and very consistently. These guys are struggling here. Okay, we'll just continue to attack here for now. And eventually we'll push our way through this. But yeah, I'm definitely starting to see some gaps opening up in their lines, and they can't keep this up forever. So that's perfect. You can make the argument, neither can you. You're running out of manpower. We have options that they don't have. Specifically, that option is that we can go down to service by requirement. Now, they would be able to go to... Actually, could they go to all adult serve? Our strength ratio may not be 75% or more compared to their army. But even if they did this, this would be a significant penalty to their factory output. And they'd probably prefer not to do that. So we're continuing to attack up over here pretty consistently. And I want to continue to attack over here too. They are weakening in this area. No doubt about it, they are weakening. So we just need to keep the pressure on, is what this means. They have given up entirely on attacking up on this side. So that is magnificent. And at this moment, we can see that this hub is going to be done on 8 July. That is actually getting very close. Very, very, very close. So I think this is the answer. We need to slowly advance. We need to repeatedly dig in and treat this much like we did the African campaign. This is not going to be a glamorous campaign. This is not going to be a campaign of giant gains until they start to run into army collapse, which is going to be a while. So we just need to be patient and use our resources in a smart manner. I think that's what this comes down to. So that's going to be exactly what we're going to do for right now. We are gaining about 20k monthly growth in states, but remember, we can mobilize up again. They already mobilize. Hang on. Something huge just happened. They're retreating from this point. They're trying to reinforce from here. But they're also attacking here. Get in there. This is now currently stack wiping. And we're going to need to change around our positioning quite a lot. I want these tanks in here. These guys don't have any resources at this point. So these units are going to stack wipe. And I want these tanks to be on a front line that is up here, like this. And I want these infantry on a front line up here as well for right now. Okay, so that'll hold that position. We need to dig in up over here. That's going to be a high priority position to hold. So we're going to do exactly that. They're beginning to stack wipe from this position. And we're about to join together these two forces. That's huge. So if we've been able to build any level of land fort here, there's one level of land fort, but it's a damaged level. Okay. We need to get these guys eliminated so we can bring reinforcements up to here, but it looks like we're good. I don't know where this force is going to be deployed to. They just don't have orders assigned. Okay. They also don't have a general, so we should maybe handle that. We'll put this guy in, and that'll be okay. And we'll put them up on this line for now as well. We may want to move this into an army group here, though. I want to keep our infantry separate. So that's this unit here and this unit here. So I'm going to move them into their own army group, and this is going to be, this guy will be fine. So we're going to get rid of these orders here, all of them. And then this army group is going to now be like this. And then this army is part of a separate army group for right now, and that's absolutely fine. I'm actually going to delete that. I'm going to have this be an army group order as well. Okay, so this army group is then ideally going to push up to somewhere around here, although cutting off this railway would be pretty good. Let's do that for now. And the real question is, as we start to try to push this, the real question is, how are we going to do logistically through this area? The answer is not phenomenally, but it's okay for now. So we'll start to make some progress out over here, and over this direction, we're just kind of waiting at this point for this logistics hub. It's actually done. Okay. These guys are not attacking over here, and my question is why? Any particular reason? What if you were to go here? This seems pretty free, right? Because then we can stack wipe these guys. Well, actually, I think there's a connection here. But even so. Okay, so we just took that position. We immediately want to start digging in there. And I want to grab some of these infantry, half of them, and I'm going to send them here. I'm going to grab 6 of these units, and we're going to send them back over here. Like this. Okay. And then I want to grab some of these tanks and move them back over this way, ideally. But awkwardness is ensuing, as we would expect. They're really trying to swarm this area at this moment, which is not surprising. But we now have this position, and we can start working on building land forts here as well. Okay, now I want to halt this attack. Don't bother with attacking it at this time. We're just defending. Okay, we're pushed back from here. But they can't push this. And the question is, can we get dug in over on this side? We've got one level of land fort there right now. But they cannot take this position. So that seems good. Out over here, we do actually have these guys encircled. So we'll get that taken care of as soon as we can. That looks absolutely fine for now. We're working on attacking out over here, but that's fine. So this offensive is going fairly okay at this moment. I think that they're taking extreme losses right now. If we check in here, we can see 16.94 million overall losses, and that's pretty neat. If we check in here now, this is still saying about 4 to 6 million in their manpower. Okay. Well, that's definitely interesting. But we're seeing stack wipes occurring, and that's wonderful. Okay, so I do want to get a new trait to this guy. He is... yeah, Panzer Expert seems fine. Actually, Combined Arms Expert? Yeah, Combined Arms Expert, I think. So that seems okay. And then this guy, what do we got for him? Oh, he can be an improvisational expert or a guerrilla fighter. We'll have him be a guerrilla fighter. Cool. So we're going to stack wipe here. That's under control. Up over this direction, it looks like they're focusing their attack here. And that's exactly the kind of thing we want to see. Excellent. I would like to see these guys launching an attack right here, just to relieve some pressure over this way. There's a lot of pressure on this point. No doubt about that. Okay. This guy is recovering back over here, and we're going to march him back in once he is recovered. It's very awkward what they've got going on over here. We just took this position again, and the question is, can we hold it? Probably not, but that does relieve the pressure. Okay. Yeah, we're going to retreat from this position. We almost certainly can't hold it. Their attacks over here are very awkward. Very awkward indeed. I want to launch an attack of our own right here, actually. Just to be able to, again, relieve a little pressure here. Okay. So that's fine for now. And we'll continue to hold this position. I do want to bring these tanks in up here. Once again, we'll relieve a little pressure. There's a lot going on over here. Over on this side, there's also a lot going on. And we can work on building up some land forts over on this side. Okay, so that seems fine. The real question here is, how much can they actually do here? I'm noticing that these guys are definitely going to need a little bit of relief. I'm going to move these in. And that should help us hold that position. And then I would like to move some units up over here to help hold this position. Unfortunately for us, that's going to be a little rough. Because everything is under attack constantly by Ukraine over here. And we're going to have a hard time pushing up like that. We might get pushed out of this area. We'll see. We're at 4 levels of land fort there now. It's not looking great up here. It's actually not looking great here either. They've been attacking so relentlessly over here. Oh, that's actually quite bad. So these 4 units are probably going to cease to exist. They're going to get stack wiped unless we can get them out of there, but I doubt we can. We can try to build a naval base, but there's no way, right? Yeah, they're just going to get stack wiped. We'll replace them from our reserves. So that's very rude, no doubt about it. I'm actually surprised that they were able to push that relentlessly through this area. But okay, that's fine. We'll replace them, as I said, from our reserves. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're going to head in over here. Okay, So we'll just let them do that. They responded extremely heavily over here, but that bought us time over this direction. So that seems fine for now. I would like to attack with some of these infantry. Actually, I would love to take this position. This would be a very strong position for us to take. I'd like to have some of these infantry help out over here, but this is going fine for right now, I feel like. So they might try to do the same thing they did here over this way, but for right now, it's pretty clear. If they do try to do the same thing over here, then we need to attack here at that point. They cannot push across here. It just isn't going to happen. We'll wait for our reinforcements over this way and wait for them to weaken over on that side. For now, we'll focus over here. If we can take this city, this is huge. This is a logistics hub, and we would be delighted to take this. I want to get these tanks in here. They're moving in reinforcements, but they're struggling to hold this. We just got it. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to build a rail line up like this. And I also want to make sure that this rail line connects like that. So that'll be fine. And we'll get this supply hub set up as soon as that gets converted over. We're going to need to dig in over here for sure. They're going to be attacking this very consistently. No doubt about that. But I don't think they can take it. We're actually pushing. They are losing on this front, just straight up. Okay, so that's perfect. Out over here, I don't want to push out again yet. We'll give it a little bit. Unable to find valid path to target? What do you mean? Your target's right here. You're in the right spot. That also means that these 4 units down here were unable to find a valid path up over this way. We can just tell them to move up here, and that'll be fine. Okay, so we're pushing past this at this moment, and we absolutely need to get some land forts built here and here, and that'll be fine. We're pushing this very, very well. I want to check, how's their manpower doing? Still about the same. It's hard to tell. Okay. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to punch through this area, and that will be wonderful for us. I mean, this is not their steel. We want their steel up in these areas, but we need to link these up, and that is definitely going to be the goal. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.